Think cheap houses means good news? Think again, because when a home costs less than a new pickup truck, the market isn't affordable, it's undervalued, underloved, and underwater, and sometimes for reasons no one wants to say out loud. Right now, while the headlines scream about prices staying high, there's another America hiding in plain sight. Cities where a median home costs $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, where listings sit, neighborhoods whisper, and buyers wonder, this has to be fake, not a deal, a distress signal. And here's the twist. These markets don't just create opportunity, they create traps, the kind where a family buys the dream and then gets suffocated by repairs, insurance spikes, taxes, and job instability, the kind where investors swarm in, strip value, then disappear. Gone, over, done. Today we're counting down the top 10 US cities where home prices are so low. You'll think it's a scam, but by the end, you'll understand the truth. Low prices are never random. They're the footprint of something bigger: economic earthquakes, population shifts, and entire zip codes fighting for survival. And why does this matter right now? Because affordability is collapsing in most of America, and the few places that still look cheap are about to become the next battleground between first-time buyers, hedge funds, and desperate sellers. If you want the real housing market, no fluff, no realtor fairy tales, subscribe. This channel breaks down the numbers, the neighborhoods, and the hidden risks the headlines ignore. All right, deep breath, let's dive in. Number 10, Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham sits under southern skies like a city that remembers glory and resents the bill. The neighborhoods feel close enough to touch the past: steel, sweat, and Sunday mornings. But the market, it plays defense. Every day. Here's why Birmingham looks too cheap. The median sale price hits $165,000 December 2025, up to 123.4 per square foot, runs about 123. Source and Redfin shows even sharper wait what dynamics in pockets of the city. Birmingham's median sale price appears far below the national level, with demand that still feels inconsistent. Source. But it's not just the sticker price. The reason? Fragmentation. One neighborhood climbs, the next one collapses. What's making it worse? Crime perception, school quality gaps, and uneven job growth. And then there's deferred maintenance. Houses that look cheap until you realize the roof, HVAC, and electrical system are all screaming. Families chasing a fresh start buy in areas like Ensley, Roebuck, or parts of West End, then get hit with repairs that feel like financial shrapnel. Teachers, nurses, service workers, they don't just need a low mortgage, they need a home that doesn't bleed money every month. Investors love Birmingham because entry costs stay low. That brings flips, but also landlords who extract rent while the property decays. Sellers respond with incentives, price cuts, and as-is listings that read like warning labels. Birmingham doesn't crash like a beachfront boomtown. It slowly suffocates where neighborhoods fail to stabilize. The irony? A city that sells affordable living can still deliver unaffordable risk. Number 9, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis stands tall, Gateway Arch slicing the skyline like a promise. But down on the blocks where the numbers live, the market feels like a trench line, holding, waiting, watching. Realtor.com's December 2025 data paints the picture. Median home price, $210,000, up 4.76% year over year. Price per square foot, 148, down 2.78% YoY. Active listings, 2,555, up 25.94% over 3 years. Average days on market, 51 days, up 21.43% over 3 years. Median rent, $1,250 a month. Source, but it's not just price. The reason? St. Louis has two realities: booming micromarkets and blocks that feel abandoned. What's making it worse? Property conditions in certain pockets, buyer hesitation, and an investor class that cherry picks. And then there's the brutal neighborhood spread. Greater Veal shows a median home price of $35,000. That's not cheap, that's ground zero. Source: families trying to break out of rent see $150K houses in places like Dutchtown, then discover the hidden cost: security upgrades, insurance friction, and repairs that devour savings. People don't just lose money here, they lose time, years. This is where you see seller desperation, more inventory, longer market times, and listings that sit while owners pray for one clean offer. Investors hunt for distressed properties like scavengers after a storm. St. Louis doesn't need a dramatic collapse. It already carries the quiet disaster, a market split so hard it feels like two cities at war. If this feels eye-opening, subscribe and tell me in the comments, what neighborhood do you think is the most misunderstood market in America? Number 8, Buffalo, New York. Buffalo looks like a comeback story. Brick homes, lake effect grit, old money bones. but the cheap label sticks because the city still fights the ghost of its industrial past. Redfin's December 2025 snapshot, median sale price $218,000, up 8.8% YoY. Homes sell after 21 days, median sale price per square foot 127, up 3.3% YoY. Average sale to list 102.6%, and Buffalo's market sits 50% below the national median sale price. Source: Income Reality Check. Buffalo's median household income runs about $48,050, 2019-2023, inflation adjusted. Source: But it's not just affordability. The reason? Demand pressure collides with wage limits. What's making it worse? Competition drives bidding even in affordable zones. And then there's winter wear, older housing stock, and repair timelines that stretch like a slow bleed. First-time buyers think they found the cheat code, then they get outbid in neighborhoods like Elmwood Village, North Buffalo, or Allentown. Renters try to convert to owners and realize the market doesn't care about their plan. It cares about cash and speed. Investors don't flee Buffalo. They pile in. When homes sell above list in a cheap city, the risk becomes overpaying for condition, not just price. Buffalo's irony cuts deep. The city that looks cheap on paper can still feel financially suffocating when you factor wages, competition, and repairs. Number 7, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee sits on Lake Michigan like a blue-collar battleground, quiet streets, old duplexes, and the hum of commuters. But the cheap narrative hides a harsher truth. This market doesn't forgive mistakes. Redfin, December 2025. Median sale price, $230,000, up 7.0% YoY. Homes sell after 46 days. Price per square foot, $144, down 1.4% YoY. Migration pressure shows Chicago homebuyers flooding in as a top inbound source. But it's not just price. The reason? Milwaukee's affordability invites outsiders, then pushes locals into bidding wars. What's making it worse? Property taxes, aging housing stock, and neighborhood-by-neighborhood volatility. And then there's insurance pressure creeping into the Midwest as severe weather losses rise. Safe states don't exist anymore. Source working families look in areas like River West, Bayview Edges, or Sherman Park and try to stretch. Then the repair quotes hit. Then the insurance renewal hits. Then the budget collapses. Sellers don't always slash prices here, they wait. Investors circle duplexes and rentals, squeezing yield. Banks tighten when condition looks questionable. The market becomes a chessboard, not a shelter. Milwaukee's twist: it feels affordable until the full cost shows up, then it turns into a slow-motion drowning. Number 6, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa sells a modern myth: space, affordability, and a fresh start. But beneath the skyline, this market runs on a delicate balance, one shock away from a mood swing. Median sale price, $246, $230, up 8.0% YoY. Homes sell after 38 days, up from 34. Price per square foot, $147, up 6.5% YoY. And Tulsa sits 43% below the national median sale price. Source: But it's not just the price tag. The reason? Tulsa attracts relocators, but local wages don't always keep up. What's making it worse? Car dependency, insurance volatility across storm corridors, and investor attention. And then there's neighborhood whiplash. Brookside and Maple Ridge don't behave like Northside Tulsa, not even close. New buyers jump on cheap homes and then discover the monthly math. Higher rates, plus repairs, plus insurance. Suddenly that $246K house feels like a $400K lifestyle. Investors chase rentals. Sellers push incentives. Homes sit longer when buyers hesitate because hesitation spreads like a virus. Tulsa's irony: it promises escape from expensive America, then quietly imports the same pressure, just on a smaller paycheck. If you live in any city on this list, comment your neighborhood and what you're seeing. Price cuts, bidding wars, or homes sitting. We're not even at the top 5 yet. Number 5, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville feels like bourbon and brick, old neighborhoods with heavy history, but the housing market carries a different flavor. Desperation on one block, competition on the next. Redfin shows Louisville's affordability shock. Median sale price, $262,000, December 2025, up 2.8% YoY. Homes sell after 42 days, up from 36. Source: And the local spread gets darker. In zips like 42 TWU, the median price shows $85K with time on market around 51 days, numbers that make buyers think scam until they see the condition and the block-by-block reality. Source: But it's not just low price. The reason? Louisville has pockets of strong demand and pockets that feel like economic retreat. What's making it worse? wage pressure, property condition, and rising insurance costs across broader storm-prone regions. And then there's investor churn. When rentals dominate, stability evaporates. Families who buy cheap in distressed areas often pay in stress, security, school choices, and constant repairs. Nurses, warehouse workers, restaurant staff, people who keep the city running become the casualties. Sellers offer concessions. Investors buy, hold, and rent. Banks tighten on questionable properties. That pushes more buyers into a narrow band of safe neighborhoods and drives those prices up. Louisville's twist. It looks affordable, but the market behaves like a pressure cooker. One lid, two temperatures. Number 4, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City has open skies and wide roads, America stretched out, but the housing market hides a quiet warning. When days on market jump, the mood changes fast. Redfin, median sale price $270,000, up 2.9%. YOY, AG 2024 snapshot. Homes sell after 32 days, up from 20 the year before. Sale to list sits around 98%. OKC remains 38% below the national median sale price. Source. But it's not just the headline price. The reason? Oklahoma City sits in a broader region where insurance and weather risk keep tightening the belt. What's making it worse? Car dependency, rising ownership costs, and uneven neighborhood performance. And then there's storm exposure. Hail and wind losses drive premiums higher in unexpected places. Source A, family buys in South OKC or the edges of Northeast OKC thinking they found the steal of the decade. Then insurance renewals climb, repairs hit, and suddenly they feel trapped. Equity building slower than the bills. Investors stay active. Sellers accept below-list offers. Lenders scrutinize condition harder. The market becomes less emotional and more mathematical. Why? Simple math. OKC's irony. It sells stability, yet its costs rise like a storm front you don't see until it's on top of you. Number 3, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore looks like waterfront charm and row house character until you step 2 streets the wrong way and the mood shifts. This is a city where real estate feels like a roulette wheel. Redfin, December 2025. Median sale price, $240,000, up 7.9% YOY. Homes sell after 55 days. Source. But it's not just price. The reason? Neighborhood risk pricing is extreme. What's making it worse? Taxes, safety perception, and aging housing stock. And then there's the commuter paradox. Close to DC money, but not always close to DC stability for every block. Teachers and healthcare workers, people tied to major institutions, get tempted by the cheap row house. Then they discover the hidden costs. Repairs, insurance, security systems, and sometimes vacancy risk if the street turns. Investors hunt Baltimore aggressively. Sellers in weaker blocks price low to escape fast. Banks get picky. The result, certain areas feel like they're booming, and others feel like a ghost town. Baltimore's twist. A city with world-class employers nearby can still produce neighborhoods where value evaporates the moment perception shifts. Number 2, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland sits on Lake Erie like a city that never stops rebuilding, but the market feels like it's carrying an anchor, heavy, cold, and dragging behind every listing. Redfin's December 2025 snapshot shows the shock factor. Cleveland's median sale price is about $125,000, down 2.7% YOY. Homes sell after 41 days. Source income reality, Cleveland's median household income is about $39,187, 2019-2023. Source, but it's not just affordability. The reason? Low wages crush upward pressure on prices. What's making it worse? Aging inventory, pockets of population loss, and repair-heavy properties. And then is insurance pressure expanding in the Midwest as hail, wind losses rise? Yes, even here. Source families who bought at the wrong moment don't just lose equity, they lose mobility. They can't sell. They can't refinance. They sit in place, drowning, quietly. Investors sniff out the cheapest stock. Sellers list as-is like it's a confession. Lenders tighten when properties show old systems and deferred maintenance. The market becomes a survival game. Cleveland's irony, a city with major employers and world-class healthcare, can still trap homeowners in a market where price growth suffocates. Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit doesn't just feel cheap, it feels impossible. A city of legendary rise, legendary fall. And now, a housing market where the price tag can look like a typo. Redfin's numbers hit like a sledgehammer. Detroit's median sale price sits around $97,000, December 2025 snapshot, up 2.1% YOY, and homes take about 61 days to sell. Source now, zoom out. Detroit's median household income sits around $39,575 and poverty sits at 31.5%. Median value of owner-occupied housing units $76,800 2019-2023. Source, but it's not just low prices. The reason? Detroit carries massive neighborhood volatility. Some areas surge while others bleed out. What's making it worse? Job uncertainty tied to manufacturing and auto supply chains, plus population churn. And then there's the investor shadow economy, buying cheap, renting hard, maintaining little. Even more concerning, layoffs and closures in Southeast Michigan keep surfacing, feeding fear into the market's bloodstream. Source. You see the real casualties here. Families who buy a $90K house, then pay thousands in repairs, security, and utilities. People don't just lose money, they lose hope. Teachers, nurses, service workers doing everything right still get trapped in a neighborhood that doesn't rebound. Investors treat entire blocks like chess pieces. Banks pull back on rough properties. Sellers slash prices just to escape. The market doesn't cool, it survives. Detroit's final twist is brutal. The city that once built America now sells homes for prices that look like scams because the real cost isn't the mortgage, it's everything else. Here's the pattern across all 10 cities, and you need to hear this clearly. Low home prices don't happen because a market is nice. They happen because something keeps punching the local economy in the ribs. Wages that can't rise, population churn, investor extraction, aging housing stock, or neighborhood instability that scares off stable owner occupants. And in 2026, there's a new accelerant lighting these markets on fire. Ownership costs that don't show up on the listing page. Insurance doesn't just rise on the coasts anymore. Hail and wind losses push premiums up deep in the middle of the country, rewriting what affordable even means. Source thinks safe state? Think again. This isn't just about cheap houses. It's about something bigger. Two Americas forming in real time. One America where homeownership becomes a luxury product, protected, scarce, fought over, and another America where homes become cheap because communities bleed jobs, stability, and confidence. But listen, this story isn't only fear. There's opportunity here, real opportunity. For buyers who do their homework, who inspect aggressively, who choose neighborhoods like they're choosing a future, not just a price. For investors who build instead of extract, who renovate responsibly, who understand that a community isn't a spreadsheet. Because the real scam isn't the cheap price. The scam is thinking the price is the full cost. So here's my question to you. Which city shocked you the most? Or 10 to more 1. And if you live in any of these markets, tell us what you're seeing. Are prices getting slashed? Are investors buying everything? Or are homes just sitting there, dying on the vine? If you want more countdowns like this, real numbers, real neighborhoods, real risk, subscribe. This channel maps the housing market like a battlefield because that's what it is right now. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and stay ready because the next market shift won't announce itself. It'll sneak up, quiet, cold, sudden. See you in the next one.